for your donation, C-Flare. We are all set up for our next run, so I'm going to go ahead and let Diagon take it over with Castlevania, Order of Ecclesia, Albus, any percent.
Hello everybody, what's up? I'm going to run Castlevania Order of Ecclesia, Albus any percent. Albus is additional character of this game. We will cover details during the run. Let's commentators introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Brooke. I run a lot of these Castlevania games, most known for Aria of Sorrow probably, but I also run the Shinoa mode in this game and have an okay time in it.
Hi, I am Frozer. I am the current world record holder of Albus mode and pretty much like the person that kind of built the foundation of the run that you are going to see here.
Yeah, this didn't even have a route before you, so... Yeah, I am Romscout. I also run a lot of the DS Castlevanias and then other ones styled like Symphony of the Night.
Okay, with that, I think we're ready to go. So 3, 2, 1, go. I will let you guys to cover basic mechanics.
The deep lore of this game. Yeah, I mean
yeah.
Yeah, Albus mode does start you in the village instead of in Ecclesia, but yeah, it's like many other alternate modes in Castlevania games. You are mostly just going fast. In this case, using the touchscreen. But Frozer could go a little more in depth on exactly everything that's going on here.
Okay, so pretty much the beginning of the game is quite fast. As you can see, like he just teleports throughout the map like a madman, and like everything that you pretty much do except for like basic movement, which is just like walking left and right, jump, and do backdashes, costs MP that you see on the top left side of your screen. Pretty much like you always try to maximize your teleports that you can do in this run. And if you're low on MP, you usually just backdash and backdash into a jump to be exactly. Simply because of the fact the backdash for Albus is pretty good. It gives you like.
By the way, a boss is gone already, and we haven't even finished explaining the mechanics. That's
exactly
about what you should expect from this mode.
Exactly. So I will cover the attacks a little bit later on because they will be super important. But yeah, as I said before, like backdash canceling is like the other movement that you're going to see quite a lot of, and. If you just watched Brooke's Fleet for Tales run last year, and if you compare it to Shinoa mode to Albus mode, you will see that Albus is pretty overpowered in the beginning of the game. Luckily, I guess.
Yeah, but do we end up being under leveled at some point? I should play safer.
Exactly.
Yeah, even though you are able to just blow through the beginning of the game, you never get a shop, you never get potions in this mode, so the only way you're able to heal really is save points or if you waited on orbs after bosses, which obviously Diagon's not going to do, so...
Yeah, this run probably won't have a lot of orb.
Fine.
Yeah, this run probably won't have a lot of orb collecting. Unlike in Shinoa mode, you don't have to collect to go to the next area or to go after the boss door. It just opens up for you.
Albus can also swim. A cool thing about this area is the waves that go up and down are actually on a global cycle from when you turn on the game. So pretty much every run they're going to be a little different, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm. Also, we picked up a magical ticket, probably like the worst item for Albus mode, because you cannot use it at all. It's for some reason it's still in there.
I think it's there just to taunt you, to be like, hey, you remember these? Those were nice, right?
Yeah, there are like, I don't know, 5 items in this game as Albus.
We talked about the MP bar earlier. This game's really unique among Castlevania games in that the MP bar is more of like a stamina meter that you would see in like Zelda Skyward Sword or Breath of the Wild. In that once you stop using it, it starts going up immediately, and you can use your attacks or movement options again. I'm pretty vocal about this. I firmly believe that this is the greatest Castlevania game ever made, and the stamina meter is one of the reasons I think that. I think it's just like such a brilliant design concept.
The stamina meter definitely, like, you see it come into play in a lot of other games even. Like, obviously we're all familiar with stuff like the Souls games having effectively that to a degree, so it's a pretty influential game. Not that Castlevania Order of Ecclesia is the first one with a stamina meter at all, but among Castlevania games it was.
I mean, Sisters mode in Portrait of Ruin has a stamina bar, right?
Ooh, we're going there, huh?
That doesn't exist. So this is interesting boss. This is like auto-scroller boss. I have to deal enough damage before he comes to the ceiling.
Yeah, so this boss
So that
is
he turns red.
Yeah, it's an auto-scroller kinda, but like not really. Yeah, so Diagon got it there. It's probably... Is it fairly trivial in the Albus run? Get a quick kill?
Yes.
Okay.
Kinda.
Yeah, but basically you can skip attack phases if you deal damage fast enough.
Yeah. So basically what we're trying to do at the very first cycle, because that is something that's really hard to do in Shinoa mode, is like we will try to attack him as much as possible before he even gets a chance to attack while he's green. So whenever he turns red, it's basically when he's going into his berserk mode and he just tries to destroy his ceiling, which you have to climb up in order to finish him at the end. A small warning for people that are like not scared about blood, but like there is a graphic. There's some
blood
violent graphic after this boss fight.
Basically what he's saying is it's the most awesome boss kill possible in a video game, and you should watch it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Did you mention that the second he destroys the ceiling, his HP bar replenishes?
Oh,
yeah, so it's kind of a 3-tier fight in that way. You have to get him to a certain threshold each time. And there's that bloody finish we were talking about.
And you didn't get a lag frame, which is kind of great. So that's something, that's like the only RNG about Brachyura. And whenever you like press the down button, depending on where he's standing or what color he has, sometimes it just lags out the game like crazy. And in Diagon's case, it was pretty perfect actually. Like sometimes you just
really smooth.
Yeah, sometimes you just lose like 3 seconds by the game just being unable to handle that much blood. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, the Brachia fight is actually really odd in how it's made. There's actually a glitch. It's not useful for any real speedrun, but there is a theoretical way to actually glitch the fight to end immediately with the Ignis Glyph in Shinoa mode. So you can do some really odd stuff with that.
We do have a bit until the next boss coming up, so if there are some donations, you can totally do that right now.
Yep.
Oh, awesome.
Go ahead.
There sure are. I have $5 from Regali that says, $5 hype train for Castbot. Let's get Link's Awakening DX shown off. Thank you so much for that donation. I have $10 from Bushido Jackson. Castlevania is my favorite block, so I had to donate. Thank you so much. I have $20 from Ready, Set, Indie Games, loving the Castlevania block, excited for the Curse of the Moon 2 run later on. Good luck, runners.
But yeah, Curse of the Moon 2 is like both a good game and a really good speed run. If you liked the Castlevania 3 run you saw before this, it's like a more modernized version of that.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, and Bobby.
And Bobby, yeah, really, you just want to stick around for Bobby. Let's be real.
Yeah. You probably have mentioned in the mountain area that there were red platforms for that. Normally, Albus cannot go across the spiky room, so in order to help him a little bit, I guess they gave him like 2 or 3 platforms.
Oh well, Shinoa has Magnus,
Yeah.
I think, and Albus doesn't, so that's why. Kind of. Maybe you don't want to use warps for whatever reason.
I'm pretty sure you won't be able to reach the end with your current MP. Because otherwise, look, you will just go ahead and go through the room. Anyways, I can actually now talk about like the other moves that Albus has, except for like just moving around with his teleport. As you can see, he just uses a pistol as his general weapon. That's something that he cannot switch, and that's where like most of his attacks are based. The first one that you just saw like a glimpse of it is just his normal attack, which is a rapid fire style attack, which is probably like, if the boss is weak against it, probably like your best DPS option out of any other skill that you have. The second one, which is optical shot, that's like 2 different colored circles that are going into the middle that's spread out, is probably like a good attack if you're facing against an enemy that's weak to light attribute skills. And it also can multi-hit, so usually when Diagon uses the optical shot, he will try to place it somewhere where it hits
as close as possible.
Exactly. The third attack, which is max shot, or if you are familiar with Shinoa mode, the Acerbatus, I think that's how it's called, which is like this huge ball that you usually just weave in between either like optical shots or regular attacks. And the last movement that we saw before is like this fire kick that he does, or as I usually refer to as the blaze kick. It's pretty much like the strongest option out of all the attacks that Albus has. It costs hearts, which you also see on the top left, and yeah, it's probably like the best attack all around. When we try to use it as often as possible, unless like the boss is not strong, is not weak against it, or if like the boss is just in an awkward position where you cannot do the maximum amount of damage without endangering yourself, of course. And in this case, the boss fight that we just saw, Rusaka, yeah. It's like one of the easiest fights, actually. You still need to dodge, but like in terms of attacks, you just use normal attacks, because that's like the best thing that you could do here.
Oh yeah, because she's stationary, doesn't move around, and as we said, auto shots are like the best DPS-wise option. I will save because he has one-shot attack.
Yeah, and you haven't seen it much yet with the boss fights, but as they start to get more and more health as we progress through the game, you will notice sometimes Diagon will use the flame kick after completely depleting the MP bar, because it only uses hearts. You actually can refill MP while doing the flame kick, so it ends up working even more for optimizing DPS.
Yeah, and Goliath is pretty much like the best boss fight to like see like what different types of skill that you're using against it, because like he's pretty much weak to everything, and everything does like a decent amount of damage. And that's where like he just weaves in his blaze kicks and just to do like optimal damage, and that was a really good boss fight.
That was
nice
a good fight. Wow.
Nah, I don't agree with you.
That's not Castlevania
Well,
perfectionist
I'm sure
mentality.
chat does.
Yep.
Well, at least they didn't die.
Yeah. Okay. At this point, the boss fights are starting to get actually not difficult per se, but like if you do a mistake, you will probably lose half of your health, or in some cases, you will just die instantly. So that's like where the difficulty part comes into.
Worst room in the game incoming.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Or whatever. No!
it's
God.
it's equivalent to the Vegas Bridge.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So this is like the equivalent of the Vegas Bridge in Super Castlevania 4. Unfortunately, we don't have a good name for it. It's just a very cursed room, I would say. Yeah.
The cursed room is probably a good name. I think that one might stick.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Yeah, as you can see, like if you get hit by those ectoplasms, it will deplete your MP completely, and pretty much like all of your options, except for like backdashing and just walking around normally, is completely gone. And if you do like record attempts, or in some cases also PB attempts, if you get hit there, you will just instantly lose around 10 to 15 seconds, and in most cases that just means that the round is over. But
Yeah, that's a reset.
But again, for marathon settings, like it's unfortunate, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're coming up on the fish here, Grave Dorcas. Really RNG based fight, so he spawns this or he alternates between jumping out of the sand and doing an attack, but at any time he can choose to just go to the pillar in the middle and break it. So you have to adapt to the RNG a lot when you're doing this fight. And then after he breaks the pillar, he can do another attack, which hopefully things don't take that long.
Yeah. Optimally, what you want him to do is exactly what he's trying to do right now. He just tries to hit you with the fin first, and then he just uses shoot the ball.
This is fine. I played badly. This.
Yeah, there is quite a bit of risk involved with doing this boss fast, because you can't get right in its face when you're trying to do those up close attacks at first, because when it opens its mouth, your distance from it determines whether it's doing like this green spew that is practically undodgeable, or these little spike balls that come out, and you can knock them around, but they stay on the screen. They're like really annoying. So there's no good options of being safe on this fight.
And
Yeah,
even,
that green spew.
That's the acid.
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
were
it
talking
poisons
about.
you. Well, can Albus get poisoned?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It poisons you. But here's him breaking central pillar, like I talked about.
And that's usually a bad thing if that happens for Albus, mostly because of the fact that he will usually, when he breaks the first platform, he will go all the way to the left, which he just does right now, and destroy the platform. And unfortunately, your options to DPS properly is quite limited. But
There we go.
very nice.
See you, buddy.
So a fun fact is that attack animation that Grave Dorcas was just locked into, his orb actually doesn't spawn until he's done with that animation, and it takes like 20 seconds for that animation to fully play out. So in Shinoa
Yeah, a
events
lot
where
of
you have to
time.
grab the orb, it's a huge time loss. Thankfully in Albus,
Just a fun fact about this area. You see those small little flying dragons in this map. Sometimes if you're just going too fast through the screen, some will just teleport in the middle of the screen for no reason whatsoever. And they also have an active hitbox. Luckily it didn't happen there, so which is nice. And yeah, so this is pretty much like the first half of the run, I would say, because that's like the last regular area.
In Shinoa mode, it would be like 3/4 of the way through the game, though.
Yeah, actually, you're right. So we're going to fight a very interesting boss.
Try not to lose track of who's who in this.
Yes.
Might be a little difficult.
probably the most
Yeah,
entertaining
this
fight
will
ever.
be intense. Oh my god. How hard.
Yes.
Luckily, you don't have an active hitbox when when you're doing the flame kick. Unlike
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta abuse your iframes, right? Like,
Iframes go brr.
exactly. Okay, but yeah, like Albus is a pretty much pushover fight in Albus mode, funnily enough. But the next one, Barlow, that's how it's called, right? See, I totally forgot the boss names. World rank.
Yeah,
mode.
Barlow.
Yeah, he can be quite trollish, but
I don't know.
How's the boss fight going, Diagon? How you feeling?
Great.
fighting fire with fire.
Great until he pulls his like pro gamer move.
Also, do we hear it?
This one
Let's
right
go.
here. You stupid disciple!
Yeah, the voice acting in
Yeah.
this game is great.
Yes.
Definitely adds to the charm.
Oh yeah, there are so many memorable lines. Yeah, you know, I was one of those runners that was not a fan of the MP bar and was like, this is so annoying compared to other Castlevanias. But I'd say Brooke, you've won me over, certainly. Brooke and Diagon won me over time.
Yeah. Took like 4 years of saying this was the best Castlevania game.
Well, let's not get carried away.
Yeah.
There's something actually okay, so now we're in Dracula's castle. This is like the final part of the game.
Also, savor this song. You don't get to listen to it very well.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like this is so good, and this ends right now. An empty tome, you're in my heart.
Yes, but not in this run, unfortunately.
So, Brooke, as
Yeah.
you were saying,
yeah, so this is Dracula's castle. Our MO here is going to be to defeat the 3 bosses. In Shinoa mode, that would give you the 3 doggy glyphs. But in Albus mode, it just unlocks the door to Dracula. The requirement. I actually saw on the speedrun subreddit, someone did put out a bounty to find, I think it was $50. I might be wrong on that, to find a skip for the door. So any glitch hunters out there want to make some money.
Okay, I was worried that you were not going for the safe. Jesus.
Oh, of course I'm going for it.
The sheer
This guy right
confidence.
here is like. Okay, no, any boss
yeah,
in a castle
anybody
can
who's played this
easily-
game before knows this guy is business.
Any boss in castle can destroy me in 3 hits, or even 2 hits.
This one
So-
even in 1.
Oh, if you get the combo, yeah, for sure.
This is where it's funny. Diagon and I have talked about this. In the Shinoa run, you're really
Oh, no.
worried about the early. Oh,
Okay, fine,
Perfect.
easy.
okay, yeah. You're really
Was
worried about the
never
early
worried.
game bosses. Yeah. Yeah, in the Shinoa run, you're really worried about the early game bosses, but in the Albus run, it's the late game bosses. Whereas in the Shinoa run, the late game bosses are like not trivial, but you deplete them pretty quickly.
Yeah, they're like 15 seconds boss fights. What are you doing? Whatever. That room is awful.
Okay. Now we're in the barracks. That's pretty much like an area where nothing much is going on, except for like a couple of pretty strong enemies, but like we can.
Other than the fact you can just be game overing at any screen if you just do the wrong inputs, nothing going on really.
Not really. You can get hit 2 times.
Oh, that's true.
The one thing that happened that I think is like absolutely wild about this game is he actually went through one room. Like small rooms in this game, you can actually go through them so fast that they're not fully done loading. So the next oh, he got lucky there.
Oh, you got
It's like-
really good load there.
Yeah, it's not RNG technically, but it's basically like random how the system decides to load rooms when you go through them really fast. It happens in both the Albus and Shinoa runs.
Yeah.
It's a really weird quirk of this game.
Another weird thing about Albus specifically is, for some whatever wild reason, he just cannot teleport through spikes. If you try to do that, you will get hit. And
Yeah.
spikes, I mean, those are pretty much like one of the biggest enemies next to Medusa heads, bats, and everything that is just flying around in the Castlevania series. But oh boy, spikes are not a good thing for Albus. Because like whenever you teleport through a spike wall, pretty much you will get stuck there, and you will at least get hit once. In some instances, sometimes you will also instantly die because you get hit twice. And at this point, I think those spikes will two-shot you. If I'm
It's interesting that it's actually like drawing a path as it does this teleport instead of just like placing you.
Yep.
Okay, this is Dragon Blitz's favorite boss. by the
Oh,
way.
this is everyone's favorite boss, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
So normally this is supposed to be a two-phase fight, but with Albus, and if you're crafty with Shinoa, but with Albus, you can just go straight up to the top and not have to worry about getting rid of his gaps.
Yeah, he normally reacts to like for your different positions, and we skip straight to the last one on his back.
And what you can see now,
Normally it's like under him. Oh my god.
Yeah, you go
Never
under
mind.
and around. But oh, guess you get to see
I will
some of
not talk.
I guess I will do the talking. I will do the talking. So, for Diagon, luckily there is a pretty simple strategy that you can do. Is like you can stand almost all the way to the left of him, and he does his attacks when you're on the bottom left of him, which is kind of nice, and lets us avoid like some really dangerous attacks.
So yeah, he like misreads your position.
Yeah, if
Basically.
you were standing in the middle of his back, then those arrows that are underneath where Diagon was would have been shooting upward at him, and it's very hard to deal with.
Like the only problem with this strategy is like if you hit an enemy like outside of its range, you still hear like the damage sound, but he actually doesn't lose any HP. So like you kind of have to weave in between like all the way to the left and the middle to do like optimally, and usually we use whenever he uses his attacks to just attack him for free pretty much. Also, yeah, this is our obligatory clock tower area. Again, lots of spikes, so we kind of have to do some weird movement to get past those sections, but it looks pretty
my
cool,
God.
like it, I would say. So yeah, and the next fight is kind of difficult actually. If you don't know what you're doing.
Let's go.
Okay, so Death usually either floats around, which he just does right now, and that's a bad thing because you usually want him to attack you so you can react to his attacks and just hit him for free. Because whenever he moves around, it's a bad thing because like you cannot use blaze kicks just as he did right now, and you always have to be worried about those sickles that are spawning, and sometimes he just tries to run into you for no reason.
Yeah, and those sides are like completely random where they're showing up on the screen, and it's awful.
Yeah. And it's like one of the bosses where we cannot use the normal shot at all, so we are relying on the opticals, max, and the blaze kicks.
Okay.
That was a really good fight.
Yeah, good
yeah,
job.
that was solid.
I'm surprised myself.
Well, we're already down to one boss left in this video game.
That is everything except
Yeah,
that.
that's how fast this speedrun is.
Yeah. Also, by the way, yeah, there were Medusa heads, by the way, but like we just basically
Yeah, they just
zoomed
didn't have time to spawn.
Yeah.
We will see them.
Oh yeah, in
soon.
the next area. Oh yeah, you're right. All right. Okay.
Unfortunately.
They're half the
Oh my
back.
god.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the final area of the game is pretty annoying for both characters. Like, if you're not having a very precise route that you're like tapping on the screen to go through safely, which pretty much Diagon's not gonna do because we're going fast. So, yeah, this area is chaotic.
Exactly. Yeah. This.
Yeah,
Okay.
No, what am I doing?
Oh boy. Uh-oh.
Okay, I believe. Oh my, this room.
I mean, there is the warp, I guess. Worst case, right?
Okay.
Oh.
So yeah, here
Okay.
he's gonna grab a heart maxa, and that's gonna
Yeah,
refill
for
his
the
hearts
final
for his
fight.
drive.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's something that has been developed quite recently, I think, because usually you don't pick it up. But anyways, now this is Dracula. I'm just gonna go and shortly explain what Diagon is usually do. So, Dracula always has like a specific cycle and set of attacks that he does. First, he uses just his fireball attack. Then he uses Dark Inferno, which he just did right now. And now he's going to use Fatal Ray. And during these kinds of attacks, you always use pretty much the same moves if possible. The exception is if they spawn at the left or all the way to the right, just as it did right now. What you have to do here is you have to do a high jump into a blaze kick, just to get the iframe and not get hit, and trying to not waste time by him doing the attack.
Yeah,
Sometimes
if it's delayed, you just commit to it. Like you have
Yeah.
to dodge the attack, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like I did.
So that's like the first phase. It always works out the same, except for like the spawning locations of Dracula, which are completely random. And you
Look! Wow, he walks. What? Like, wait, no. How's that possible?
Yeah. Okay,
Did
so
I
this.
mess up? No, I didn't.
No, you didn't. Okay, so this is phase 2 now. He just teleports and then he spawns into the middle, and depending on the shadowy effect of his body, he does like a different kind of attack. This one, however, is completely random and it is not cycle based. Whenever you see her like a red cape, then he will try to summon bats. If he see like a blue shadow,
You're already
then
on
he will...
timer, by the way.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, almost done, by the way.
So, like if you see a blue
Yeah,
shadow, he will use summon wolves, and if he does the purple one, he will try to use what is it called?
Okay, time.
So simple.
Okay, that went surprisingly
very nice
well.
run.
Hey, GG.
Very nice.
I am shocked.
You did great, dude. Good job.
Really good,
Yeah,
yeah.
thank you.
Because like Dracula is pretty much like the hardest fight in the entire run, and you didn't see one specific attack, which is kind of annoying to avoid. So, yeah, really good run. Really good run.
Do you want to know your time?
Mm-hmm.
There's a 30:53.
Nice. Oh, that's okay. I will take this.
Yeah, so be sure to follow Diagon. He's a really good Diasvania and Symphony of the Night runner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and all my commentators as well. They're great runners, great people. Like, thank you for helping me out. Love you all. This
thank you for
community
having us.
overall, this community is really friendly. We have a lot of discords for like classic Castlevanias, dedicated Discord, Symphony of the Night Discord, handheld Castlevania's Discords. Feel free to join them and hang out with people there. Also, you can find some resources on speedruns.com or ask people like me in Discords if you want to learn some speed games, some Castlevania speed games.
Yeah.
People are insanely friendly, they will help you out.
Except Romscout.
Glad we got that one out of the way.
No, I'm just kidding. I was just busy. If you have questions about Castlevania games, there are a ton of people who can help you.
Yeah,
Always feel free to message any of us because we need more runners.
Yeah,
Also,
especially-
Yeah, totally.
if you like this run, if you like this game, I would definitely check out the Shinoa run. The world record by Hetfield 90 is one of like the craziest runs you'll ever see.
Yeah, this guy's crazy. Like, holy.
Hetfield 90
moly.
ran Ori earlier in the marathon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Diagon, anything else you want to say?
Not really. Oh, thank you, GDQ staff, for holding this amazing event, for letting me to represent the part of this community. I'm really grateful. Well, that's it.
Yeah, I'd just say look forward to watching Bobby coming up, right? We got
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
Curse the Moon
Bobby.
too.
Bobby, right now. Totally watch it. You have to.
Required. You're not allowed to keep your
Yeah.
digital GDQ badge unless you do it.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much. That was such a good run. Amazing to watch. And GG. I have a $20 donation from a Professor Shinobi. A haiku. Dracula is back? You would think he would stay dead. I'm gonna go get the whip. Donation goes to Bonus Tasks. Let's reach that 2.5 million mark for the super bonus run Twitch chat. I believe in you. Thank you so much, Professor Shinobi. We are now at $1,641,018.83 raised. Thank you all so much. You are doing so amazing, and this is for such a great cause. It really just makes me so happy to see everyone coming together and doing this for such, again, an amazing, amazing charity. I have $100 from Bard621. They say I have nothing witty to say, but I love the Castlevania series, so let's see what wonderful things come this. Thank you so much. And we're still getting some match donations in from Peking Boo's run. I have $100 from Shinboro, rounding it off to $100 for Golden Berries, plus Deaths, plus Deathless. Incredible run, and it still looked so smooth, even with a dance pad as a controller. Thank you so much, Shinboro. That was absolutely an amazing run, and thank you so much for matching that. I have $200 from Lord Fancy Puss. Had to donate during the Castlevania block. The community is welcoming and generous, and I felt right at home. Good luck to the runners, and whip it good. Thank you so much for your donation. And with that, we are going to go ahead and catch a quick pitch ad. Welcome back to AGDQ 2021 Online. I have a $25 donation from Gray and Paulus. We woke up early to catch the Castlevania block, and we're so excited for the last day of the marathon. Good luck, everyone, and let's beat cancer. Thank you so much for that donation. And now we are going to go to Scent and one of his many lamps for prizes.
Well, thank you so much, Nicole. And we do indeed have one of my many lamps here. We also have some absolutely amazing prizes that you could win. But this morning, I wanted to take some time and talk specifically about one of the grand prizes that you can win. Now, this prize is available as a $250 minimum donation, but it's cumulative throughout the event. So if you've already been donating or are thinking about donating, $250 total donated to the event, donated to the Prevent Cancer Foundation, is going to get you entered into this amazing prize. Now, what is this prize, you might ask? This is, of course, a customized heroic replica from our friends over at Heroic Replicas. And there are so many options you can pick from. I just wanted to take a moment and go through all of them with all of you. So we have some lovely images here. We have, of course, the classic Master Sword. It's a super wonderful sword. We've had a few of these to give away over the past couple events. Wonderful. It's also available as a Dark Link variant in a polished blade or a kind of battle-worn and tarnished blade, as you can see on the right there. We have the Hylian Shield, another GDQ classic. It's absolutely beautiful with its steel front and aluminum casings. Definitely take a look at it. A new addition here, we have the Chris Sword from the Legend of Zelda animated series. Really love it. It's got those cool resin gem accents. It looks wonderful. And the Goddess Sword right there. It's a tempered carbon blade with a machined aluminum hilt, and it's just absolutely lovely. The Buster Sword. Cannot forget the Buster Sword. Final Fantasy VII. It's 6 feet long. It's 50 pounds. It comes with some resin materia. It's absolutely awesome. Functional Zora guitar or electric bass. Your choice. It is a working instrument. You can see the different paint finishes that we've had on them. They look absolutely beautiful. Here's a quick preview of what Ragnall's going to look like. It's still in production, but Dave was kind enough to send us both a mock-up of the finished product as well as a glimpse at what we're looking at, as well as another new offering here, the Gilded Sword from Majora's Mask. We can see a quick preview of what the blade of that is going to look like when it's finished, as well as a mock-up of what the finished blade and sword are going to look like all together. I just wanted to go over a few more of them in detail in terms of the customization options that you have with them and the materials that they're made out of, because these are wonderful replicas. Thank you so much to Heroic Replicas for sending them out to us and having the opportunity for you to customize one as the grand prize. Again, remember, you get to pick one of these options and its customization options is a $250 minimum donation incentive in order to qualify. For the Master Sword, you either get to choose a bronze hilt with a tempered high carbon blade or an aluminum hilt with a stainless steel blade, as well as purple or blue accents on that. But regardless of what you pick, they are all going to be full tang and fairly sharp. Absolutely wonderful. For the Dark Link Sword, as I mentioned, you can choose either a polished blade, as you saw the Master Sword kind of look like, or a gnarly, battle-worn tempered blade, which also looks super cool. The Hylian Shield, as I mentioned, has a lovely steel front and aluminum casings on its perimeter and back. It's got a gold-plated bronze Triforce on the front with a vinyl Loftwing emblem that completes the Hylian crest. It comes with a detachable handle, which makes it easy to carry, as well as an adjustable leather strap. I've had to carry several of those. Those are not light. Those are like 15 pounds or so. And it's got your choice of whether you want it to be left-handed or right-handed for the lefties out there in the audience. There are so many wonderful options. You should definitely head over to gamesdonequick.com, read the full list of available options, check out all of these beautiful pictures in their full resolution and glory. Had to shrink some of them down to fit on my screen here. And make sure to get those donations in. We are still trying to work for the bonus Link's Awakening tasks at the end of task block. I think we're still somewhere around $90,000 or so away from meeting that, but we can definitely do it. As I mentioned before, Link's Awakening it's a video game. It is a very broken video game. And if you thought humans could exploit how broken it is, just wait a minute. The TAS is even better. So make sure to get those donations in. And remember, if you get $250 in donations total throughout the event, then you are going to be entered into win both of our amazing grand prizes, but specifically entered into win this amazing customized heroic replica from our friends over at Heroic Replicas. Anyway, that is going to just about do it for me right now. As always, you should head over to gamesdonequick.com. You should check out the tracker. We have so many wonderful prizes available. You can find out how long they're available for and what you need to donate in order to be eligible for them there. You can find out about all the amazing incentives that you can put that donation towards. Because again, you don't have to donate specifically for the prizes. You can just donate at least the minimum amount and put that donation towards any of the amazing incentives we have. And of course, you're going to be able to see all of the amazing speed runs left in the event. Speed runs like this great Curse of the Moon 2 run we have coming up by my good friend, the Blacktastic. So let's get some corgis in chat. Let's get some excitement in chat as we send it back to the front and get hyped for that run.
Thank you so much, Sant. I have a $250 donation from K Napalm. I had to donate during the Castlevania block. This donation is for my Aunt Nancy, who is now celebrating her 2nd year cancer-free. Shoutouts to all the runners and staff. The work you're doing is so important. Thank you so much for your donation, and congratulations, that's absolutely amazing.